This super amazing episode of Techno Buffalo on Rev 3 is brought to you by Gamefly.
Welcome back to another episode of Ask the Buffalo. I'm your host, John Rettinger, and this is the show where you can ask me any question that you have from the wide world of technology. If you're not sure when's a good time to get a new phone, this is a place where you can ask. You're not sure which tablet's going to suit your needs? Go ahead and ask. E-reader's more your thing. You can go ahead and ask those questions as well. Anything that you have that pertains to you in the world of consumer electronics is fair game. If you want to submit your question to Ask the Buffalo, you can do it one of two ways. Every Tuesday on technobuffalo.com, we'll put up an article asking for folks to leave their questions down below in the comments. If you're more social networky inclined, you can go ahead and send your question to @technobuffalo. Use the hashtag AskTheBee, and you can ask your question there as well. Generally, I'll pick between 5 and 7 questions, depending on the time, and feature them on Ask the Buffalo. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so the first question on Ask the Bee comes from our friend with the shaved head, user Mohawk Guy. He asks, John, what is the best smartphone on Verizon Wireless or coming out that competes strongly with the iPhone? There's the iPhone on Verizon, that certainly competes, I guess, with the iPhone on different carriers. But Verizon has a ton of great Android offerings, one of the strongest Android offerings actually of any major US carrier. So there are flagship devices like the Galaxy Nexus, rocking that Android 4.0 tasty ice cream sandwich, that gorgeous high definition screen, that great form factor. You're going to be able to go ahead and pick up a device like that if you don't mind not having physical buttons, but you want the latest Android operating system. If you don't mind waiting a little while for the latest Android ice cream sandwich build, and you want those physical buttons, but you want them in an absolutely teeny tiny form factor, the Droid Razr is going to be a great way to go. And if you don't mind waiting a little while longer, the Droid Razr Max is going to be coming. It's going to be a little bit thicker, but it's going to pack some better battery life. The Droid Razr is probably my favorite Android phone out on the market. I just love that form factor. I love that Kevlar back. I love that it's water resistant. I just love the industrial design of it. So that would probably be my choice. If any of those don't strike your fancy, there's a device like the HTC Resound, which is also going to give you an HD screen, a little bit thicker, but you're going to get some integration with Beats Audio to get some bump-in noise. That's my bump-in noise. I'm fist pumping. So you can go ahead and do that. The guys out there are laughing at me. So this question comes to us from user Sash Undura. I'm sorry if I massacred your name. And he asks, John, do you think we'll see a Galaxy S3 at Mobile World Congress, and what specs will it have? Well, some would say, we just posted an article on technobuffalo.com saying Samsung actually let the Galaxy S3 slip during CES. They showed a phone that's been unannounced or unreleased in a promo video. Presumably, though, we will see the Galaxy S3 and probably the 90,000 variants of the Galaxy S3 that'll come out throughout the next 6 months. So taking the evolutionary step we've seen in smartphones, it would stand to reason that we will see the first quad-core Samsung-built processor put into a mobile phone. So we think quad-core is a good way to go. We're hearing rumors of actually more RAM being packed in there as well, a step from 1 gig all the way up to 2 gigs. Samsung's been really high recently in touting their improved battery life. In fact, we ran an article on technobuffalo.com saying Samsung is promising all-day battery life for their phones in 2012. I'd also expect increased screen sizes. We've seen various screen sizes in the Galaxy S2 line of phones, 4.0, 4.3, 4.5. I think we may actually see a phone go all the way up to the Galaxy Note size of 5.3, and we may see that extra AMOLED technology, the non-pentangle matrix, actually make its way into a Galaxy S series of phone. And of course, I would assume that anything coming out now will have ice cream sandwich on board, and maybe, just maybe, we might hear something about WebOS. That's a big stretch. That's probably a 0.0000001% chance of happening, but I like to dream. I love WebOS. I like the stuff that Samsung makes. It'd be nice if those two could bump, but doubt it's gonna happen. Our next question keeps it in the mobile world and comes from Roberto Sag, who asks, John, what's your favorite mobile OS? And that answer changes almost on a weekly basis. You asked me last year what my favorite mobile OS was, I would have pulled out my iPhone from my pocket. And by last year, I mean 2010, for so early in 2012. Though more recently, that really has changed. A couple of weeks ago, I would have told you it was Windows Phone. I love the Titan, and I had a chance to play with the Titan 2 at CES. Right now though, I've got a Galaxy Note with Android in my pocket. I like using them all. It helps me be a better rounded tech journalist, helps me understand the operating systems, how they work, the nuances, and as they continue to change and evolve. So really, the answer is, I don't know. It really depends on how I feel. When I'm not trying out all these different mobile phones, what I love to do is sit back, relax on my couch with my flat screen and play some games. And where those games come from, our friends and sponsors at GameFly.
That's right, John. GameFly is the largest online video game rental service, and it offers you over 7,000 new and classic titles to choose from across all consoles and handhelds. With plans starting at just $15.95 a month, GameFly members can rent 1 to 4 games at a time and keep them for as long as they want to. There are no late fees, no due dates, and shipping is always free. Like how I did that right there. Once you're done playing a game, send it back and GameFly will send you the next available game on your list. If you really like the game you're playing, just click Keep It on the GameFly website and the game is yours at a discounted price. GameFly will even mail you the case and manuals for free. That's service right there. Techno Buffalo fans get a 15-day trial when they go to gamefly.com/technobuffalo. Again, that's gamefly.com/technobuffalo. Back to John Rettinger and them fancy questions.
Our last question wants to talk some video games. And this comes from user Sammy, I'm sorry, I'm going to totally massacre your name, Sammy Shamdasani. What is your choice of video game consoles, PS3, Wii, or Xbox 360? That is a two-sided question. If I want to game, and I've got all 3 consoles at home, and we've got them in the office for testing. So if I want to play a game and they're available on all 3 consoles, generally I'm going to pick it up for my Xbox 360. I like the feel of the controller much better in the hand. However, if anybody asks me what console they should get and they don't already have an answer in their head, I always give the PS3 answer. I think you're getting much more for your console dollar on the PS3. You're getting a upgradable Blu-ray player. So Sony rather, has been pretty good about updating the firmware on the PS3 to support new Blu-ray protocols going from the original Blu-ray up to now 3D. And things that come out generally get supported on the PS3. So just for Blu-ray, media streaming is another awesome option that you get with the PS3. And then of course you can play games and you can do all kinds of motion stuff with the PlayStation Move controller. So you're getting more, I think, for your console buying dollar on the PS3. The Wii, it's hard to recommend. I did have a chance though to spend some time with the Wii U while at CES 2012 and I came away really impressed. The new controller, while looking very odd, felt really nice in the hands. It was great to see some HD graphics come out of Nintendo. I even got to see a theoretical demonstration that we have video on, by the way. You can go ahead and check that out on youtube.com/technobuffalo to see all of our Nintendo Wii U coverage of what a Legend of Zelda game might look like on the Wii U, and it looked pretty awesome. Thank you guys for watching another episode of Ask the Buffalo. I am your host, John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo. Please check us out for all your tech news, whether it's unboxing, reviews, rumors, ramblings, and sometimes awful and occasionally funny jokes. I am John Rettinger again, and I'll see you guys in the next video. You want tickets? The gun show? No? Okay. I just keep my tickets for somebody else. Do you have a Band-Aid? Because I'm ripped from here to... That's a wrap.